went on a trip to Vegas for my boyfriend's birthday. And for some reason, this trip to Vegas further sparked an internal study about social media for me. This is something I've been grappling with for years. Social media's place in my life and the role I allow it to play. How social media, and in particular for me, Instagram, affects me. How it affects us as humans. This trip in particular sparked a series of questions about what even is the point of posting on Instagram anymore. Because it's kind of become the norm in society to digitize and post the fuck out of our vacations. Everyone posts about their vacations and trips, all the way from Kylie Jenner to your next door neighbor. People love to post pictures and stories and videos and minute-by-minute updates about their trips and vacations and nights out and fancy dinners, and why the fuck is that? Why is it that everyone only wants to post the fuck out of every minute of their vacations, but not their actual lives? Why do we post more about our vacations than we do about all the time spent working to actually pay for that vacation? I mean, I get it. Do you want to watch me fold laundry for the 1,000th time? No. Fuck that. Give me the lights, the glitz, and the glamour about your recent trip to Vegas, or New York, Milan, Dubai, wherever. Give me something fun and exciting to look at so that I can forget about the annoying reality that is the never-ending cycle of laundry. Or at least that's what it feels like our society wants and prioritizes on social media. Is that what I need to prioritize on social media? Will anyone even care? Why would someone care? Why would someone who isn't physically an active member of my life care about my trip to Vegas? Not only that, but it creates a false image of my life online. Our vacations and parties and awards and new clothes and houses and cars and amazing food, and that is what we post and flaunt. That is what is deemed okay to post, and why the fuck is that? I know, it's nothing new. It's not like I'm coming up with some big, crazy, nuanced, never before thought in the world. Instagram and social media is a highlight reel. It's not based in reality, and I feel like that's something we all know at this point. Because I don't know about y'all, but my vacation to Vegas is not my reality. Vacations and trips are a part of my life and my overall lived experiences, but sitting at my desk, working, feeding my animals, and folding another godforsaken basket of socks and underwear, that's my reality. Those are the things that I have to do on a weekly and daily basis, the things that would never gain traction on any platform whatsoever, and the things we don't post. The things we do the most, we don't post. No wonder it's so fucking easy to compare ourselves and feel negatively about our lives on social media. Look at what we're posting. Look at what you and what those around you are posting. It's probably not their actual day-to-day reality. Because I don't know about y'all, but my life can be pretty fucking boring. At every stage, at every age, no matter where I lived, no matter what I was doing, the majority of life is fulfilling and completing monotonous tasks of everyday existence. Whether I was in school, doing homework all the time, or when I was only working part-time, or now that I work full-time, or even as a kid and when school was out for summer break and I had endless possibilities of what I could do with my days. Could I go swimming tomorrow, or could I go to the park, or could I do both? Why not both? Even the luxury of not having to do anything in particular with my day and being able to do mostly whatever my little heart desired, even that, not having to do anything, even that got mundane and monotonous towards the end of summer. So much so that I remember as a kid and as the new school year would approach, the thought of going back to school and having to do something with my day seemed more exciting than sitting around all summer and having to constantly entertain myself. Taking care of yourself and even having the most general responsibilities means that there are tasks that you have to do that you may not really want to do. Everyone has shit that they need to do in a day that they may not want to do that day, but you get it done. Why? Because you don't really have a choice. That is just the day-to-day life of being an adult or someone with responsibilities. And this is the drag that we experience as humans living in our day-to-day lives, because that's how we live. That's how we experience our life, is in the day-to-day hum of taking care of ourselves, our responsibilities, others, and trying to, or succeeding at, enjoying the day along the way. This incredibly human aspect of experiencing the general day-to-day is almost completely lost on social media, especially on sites like Instagram or Facebook. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say completely lost. I do think that there are creators on these platforms that try and do a good job at showing a more realistic view of their life. But on any social media platform of any kind, how much of that person's reality are you still really even seeing? Like anything that we see online, no matter how real or authentic to the moment it is, that's something that's been watched over and analyzed by the person who posted it. And, you know, you have this like mental conversation with yourself, like whether or not you want to or not want to post something. And that conversation about cherry picking and choosing what we show online makes everything that we see online not really realistic, because that's just not how reality is. Like, shit just fucking happens out of nowhere and you just go along with it, or you just try and, like, I don't know, adjust. Like, that's just how shit happens. You don't really, there's a lot of things in life that you can't really, like, sit and, like, process and, like, analyze and then do something. I mean, you can, but that's just not reality, especially when it comes to posting images or posting anything online. And when I sit back and look at life for what it really is, it's no wonder rich people are bored and sad too. No amount of money can take away every single repetitive task of everyday life. No amount of money in the world can do that. There are just certain experiences in life that no matter how much money in the world you have, it's always going to be a repetitive, every day-to-day thing that you have to do that probably gets old for rich people to do too. Like, we all have to eat 3 times a day, and we all have to stop and sit on the toilet to take a shit. Granted, rich people have the means necessary to make every single facet of life easier, but not even Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian can pay someone else to take their shits for them. And you know what? I'm gonna bring the microphone closer for this. Their shit stinks just like the rest of our shit stinks. And yes, women do, in fact, poop. All women, in fact, poop, including those two and the rest of the Kar-Jenner clan. Yes, y'all, I really am talking about Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian shitting, okay? If you want to humanize these people, even just for a little bit, imagine Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner dropping a fucking doozy and it stinks. Now, at this point, you might be thinking to yourself, Madison, where are you even going with this? And to that, I would say, I have no fucking idea. I don't fucking know, dude. I have no fucking idea how this story ends or how this plays out. I haven't even quite, like, figured it out for myself all the way. This isn't, like, a video essay of something that I've, like, discovered and, like, this is, like, fact. Like, I'm still figuring it out. Social media in general just feels like a vulture over my own emotional well-being. The ways in which these apps cause our emotional and mental states just fucking swing like a pendulum from one extreme to the next isn't natural for the human mind to endure every single day. I mean, you open up Instagram, for example, 1 minute you could be laughing your ass off at a meme, and the very next second you hear about the worst possible atrocities being committed, such as another godforsaken school shooting in America, or everything going on in Palestine, or Ukraine, or anywhere really. There's always something fucking going on in the world. And how the fuck is my mind supposed to just bounce from a lighthearted state of happiness to the deepest depths of a humanitarian crisis and back? And how is my mind supposed to just swing back and forth from one emotional extreme to the next at any given second, on any given day, every time I open up a social media app? How is my mind supposed to do that? How is your mind supposed to do that? That shit isn't fucking healthy. Like, let me say it again for the people in the back. That shit is not healthy. The way in which you can just be 1 second laughing at a reel or a TikTok, and the very next second you hear about the worst thing that could possibly happen to someone. That emotional shift to just like that. Any second of any day that you open up Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, anything, that's not normal. That's not healthy. That's not good for your emotional and mental well-being. I'm not exactly a scientist or a doctor, but my best guess is that the human mind wasn't built to just constantly swing from one emotional extreme to the next and continue on like everything is fine. Like I didn't just go from a light state of laughter to worry, panic, despair, or sadness in the matter of one single Instagram story swipe through. At least my mind wasn't built that way. I mean, fuck. Maybe I'm just too sensitive for social media, or some of y'all are completely desensitized, because every single time I personally open up Instagram, I feel like I'm unwillingly riding an emotional roller coaster. An emotional roller coaster that I, for some fucking reason, keep partaking in. And my presumption is that many others experience a similar emotional roller coaster feeling regarding social media. Like, let's not be mistaken. It's not like every time I open up Instagram, I have a full-on fucking breakdown. Like, that's not the case at all. I'm not, like, emotionally unstable like that. It doesn't have to be big, overwhelming rushes of emotion for social media usage to still feel like an emotional roller coaster. Like, you don't have to be, like, laughing your ass off and then crying the next second every time you open up Instagram. Like, it doesn't have to be that extreme for it to still feel like an emotional roller coaster. We are emotional beings. We are emotional animals. Every time we process something, we have some sort of emotional response to it. It's in our nature. It's how we are. Like, even on the smallest scale, even if you're not actively expressing that emotion, you still probably have some sort of emotional feeling towards whatever it is that you're looking at. To give you an example, say you go on Instagram stories, right? And you click your finger 4 times. You tap your phone, 4 times to look at 4 stories. In those 4 stories, you could hear about another school shooting or a mall shooting or whatever, and it could be close to you. Maybe it's not like far away. Maybe it's close, and you hear about people that are dying in your town. You could click the screen, next story. It could be Bella Hadid in fucking Italy looking like the best she ever has, fucking stunning, killing it. Hit the story again, you see your ex-best friend eating a steak in, I don't know, Malibu or something because she's on vacation, and then boom, 4th time, hit the next story, and it's your friend who you actually really like, and they post a cute little picture of their cat, and you like seeing their cat. It's not like I click 4 times and I'm going to start crying and I'm like, oh my God, but you see these things and you go from a school shooting or a mall shooting and you're like, oh wow, like you're going to process that and feel kind of sad. Then you're going to see Bella Hadid looking gorgeous as ever, and then maybe you compare yourself a little bit. Maybe it's not a lot. Maybe it's not, you don't actively feel like shit about yourself, but you kind of do just a little bit because she's in Italy looking gorgeous and you're on your toilet taking a shit going through Instagram and you just happen to see, her fucking gorgeous face. Then you see your ex-best friend who for some reason you keep following on social media even though they were kind of a toxic person in your life and they stir up negative emotions. You see them living it up on their vacation, eating a steak, and you're like, damn, you have a little bit of FOMO because you're like, fuck, here I am taking a shit on a Thursday afternoon, about to go back to work, and this bitch over here eating a steak. Like, fuck that bitch, low-key. And then you see your friend's cat, and you're like, oh, I love my friend. I love her cat. Like, I love that cat so much. That's a roller coaster of things to process with tons of different emotional responses. And the point that I'm trying to get at here is that it doesn't have to be big, overwhelming emotional rushes for social media to send you on an emotional roller coaster. Because in 4 taps of your finger, you saw 4 different things that elicited 4 different completely emotional responses from you, whether you outwardly, express these emotions or subconsciously you're processing these emotions. That's not normal. That's not healthy to be doing every day. But even on a small scale, the ability for you to be able to swipe or click right And the content on the other side can make you feel an immeasurable number of different emotions, like the ones I just explained. Maybe you see something about a humanitarian crisis, you feel a little worried, you see Bella Hadid, you get a little bit of FOMO, you see your ex-best friend living it up, and you're kind of like, fuck that bitch a little bit. And you see your friend's cat, and you're like, oh, I love that cat. The ability for you to just like click 4 times and process and feel all 4 of those different emotions all within maybe 60 seconds of each other, that's not normal. That's not healthy. The human mind wasn't built to emotionally process that fast and bounce and swing from happy seeing your friend's cat to, oh my God, I'm scared because of the war going on in Ukraine or something. And the ability for these apps to make you experience that many different number of emotions within like 60 seconds or a few seconds at a clicks of your finger, that puts all the power in the hands of these apps. For these apps to be able to elicit numerous amounts of even small reactions from you means that they have power over your emotional well-being every single time you open up that app. And how many times do you open up Instagram in a day? How many times do you open up Snapchat or Facebook, Twitter, YouTube? All of them. This applies to all of them. How many hours per day are you spending on these apps? How many hours per week, per month, per year, over the years? How many hours that you will never be able to get back have you dedicated to these platforms? How many hours have we put ourselves in the palm of the hands of these apps for them to just emotionally fuck us however they want? How many hours do you spend in that emotionally fragile state where your emotions are not being controlled by you, but by what you're seeing on your screen? How many hours do we all sit and put ourselves through this emotional roller coaster? How many hours? How many hours? We all do it. How many hours? How many hours do we sit there in this emotional limbo at the whims of these apps, allowing them to emotionally react, manipulate, exploit us with the taps of our finger? How many hours are we spending doing this? It's a lot. We wonder why our society feels like it's becoming more and more unhinged, but look at how we're choosing to spend hours of our days every single day. And there's a lot that goes into this. It's the instant gratification we get when we use social media, mixed with the dopamine release that you experience when you experience this instant gratification, mixed with fake people flexing on the gram, posting how they're just absolutely living it up on their vacations, but all of a sudden they're silent, when they're back to work, mixed with money and the ability to make a lot of money online, mixed with lying for clout, mixed with politics and news and woke activism and cancel culture and body trends and plastic surgery and filters and Facetune and Photoshop and... It's no wonder we feel suffocated when we log on to these apps. It's no wonder I leave Instagram feeling generally worse than I did before I went on the app. It's no wonder we feel like shit about our real everyday lives because all anyone wants to do is post their lives when they're on a high. It's no wonder depression rates are up in society. It's no wonder people are acting irrationally and Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. It's no wonder people are stuck in this toxic cycle of spending hours and hours of our lives stuck on these platforms. It's no wonder I question what the point of it all even is. What's the point? What is the point of using these social media platforms at all? We say we do it for social connection, but is that really what we do it for? How is posting your one meal you had at a fancy restaurant supposed to connect with someone who wasn't there eating it with you? How is posting all of the pictures from the rare occasion that you go on vacation supposed to connect with people not on that very same vacation? Is it really for social connection? Are we really subjecting ourselves to these apps for social connection? Because I don't know about y'all, but does it feel like we're socially connected? Do you feel more socially connected to people now that social media is around? Now that we spend hours and hours on social media? Or do you feel like maybe your life is boring compared to what you're seeing on social media? That you're not rich enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not skinny enough? How do you feel? Like, what are we doing this for? What am I doing this for? What are any of us doing this for? I don't fucking know. I'm not even gonna front right now. That's the end of what I wrote as far as my essay goes, because I was really struggling with how to end this essay because I don't know if there's an ending. I haven't really figured out this for myself. And you might be like, why are you making a video about this? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like, just to like put out there that like, you know, your life isn't boring. I hope if you can take away anything from this video and from my rambles is that your life is not boring. Your life is not like, you're not a piece of shit for not being the Emma Chamberlain of the world or living it up like Kendall Jenner. You're not a piece of shit for not having like tons and tons of money at, 25 years old or whatever. Your life isn't extra boring. You're not failing and doing it wrong because you have to clean the dishes and scoop your cat's shit or take like a shit. Like that's not like, social media is not reality, and it is not life, and it is fake, and it is filtered, and it is toxic. Hello, y'all. I know you just saw me talking, but you saw a arguably better rested, more put together, reading my little essay version of myself that I've filmed that, like, I can't even remember how long ago I filmed that part, but I finished editing this video and I realized that I didn't make the connection between what I was talking about in the first half of the essay and what I was talking about in the second half of the essay. And I could just feel, my English teacher isn't dead, but like I could just feel her rolling over in her grave if she was in the grave. Like when I finished editing this, I was like, bro, I didn't even fucking connect like the two main points that I'm talking about. And it's literally 3:33 in the morning. Wow, 333. Those are angel numbers. I don't know what they mean, but I think they're angel, like one of the angel numbers. Anyways. I'm just here because I'm so over this video sitting on my laptop and I just want to be done with it. But I just want to make sure that it makes sense and that I connect my main points. So that brings me to here. So I had mentioned it earlier, but this video essay came about when I went on a trip to Vegas for my boyfriend's birthday, and I was kind of stressing myself out at the beginning of this trip and just worrying about the wrong things. Now, quick backstory. I'm someone who likes to move in silence. I don't like people knowing my business. I don't like oversharing. I'm pretty private, I'm starting to realize. Like, I will tell, like, my friends and my family, like, my very close family, like, stuff about my life, but I won't tell just anybody. Like, I don't go around just talking about really personal shit to just anybody unless I feel like I have something that I can add to that. For example, this. Like, I have something to say, I have something to add to the conversation, something that's meaning. Otherwise, because people are nosy. People are nosy and judgmental and shit talkers, and nobody needs to be knowing what I'm up to and what I'm doing because people are haters, and not everyone has your best interests at heart. So honestly, I feel like people are kind of forgetting the power of privacy. I don't know. I'm someone who really values my privacy, and I don't like broadcasting my life and showing my life off to even just of my 120 Instagram followers. I still, for some reason, just don't like broadcasting my life like that. And just like posting I don't know. I just don't know why I don't. Anyways, back to this trip. I felt stressed that I wasn't going to get the perfect pictures and the perfect outfits with the perfect lighting and the perfect angles to post this perfect little recap of our trip on Instagram. And I realized that I wasn't doing it for myself. It's like, I don't like doing this. I don't like sharing my life like this with people online. Like, I'd rather just share this kind of stuff with like people who are close in my life. And then it just set me down on this rabbit hole of like why I even felt this pressure, where this pressure was coming from. And I kind of just came to the conclusion that it was kind of just coming from everything that I was seeing. Like I had mentioned earlier, everyone wants to post about their vacations and everything that isn't their real life. All the way from your next door neighbor to Kylie Jenner. Feels like fucking everybody is over posting and oversharing about basically their highlight reels, but specifically their vacations, and conveniently leaving out the reality that it is going on a trip and going on vacation. The reality of the situation is that it's not always fun. It's fucking stressful. It's expensive. For multiple different reasons. You're living out of a suitcase. You don't have all your things with you. Something might go wrong. And you might need something that you have at home, but you're not at home, so you don't have it with you. You have to go through airport security and be packed like a little sardine in the airplane. And Kylie Jenner, she's going to post next to her jet and living it up in her private jet. But she also isn't going to, she's conveniently not posting about how it's painful when her ears still pop. Insert Cardi B.
I'm very cheap. I don't care. I don't care. I am very cheap. Sometimes, y'all might see me with the jewelry, but I'm always looking at my account. Oh, man, I regret a lot of things, too. I'm not the one. Let me tell you something. I'm not the one that want to take jets everywhere. I don't care. I'm really cool in Delta first class. That's $30,000-$20,000 on what?
Yeah.
Right. My ears still pop.
Yeah.
Cardi B is saying some smoke. Cardi B knows. That's the reality of traveling and going on vacation, is all that, it's very stressful. It's very stressful, and there are a lot of ugly parts involved with traveling, especially if you're going out of the country, but that's conveniently left off Instagram. Conveniently just left off social media, but you're gonna see the food that people are eating, and you're gonna see someone on the beach or next to the Eiffel Tower. You're gonna see all that, but they're not gonna tell you about how, all the crazy shit that it took for them to get there to take that picture and everything that goes into traveling. And it just got me thinking about how we all know this, but social media is a fucking lie. It's not real. It's bullshit. Everyone's lying or fronting or just, it's just not reality at all. And we cannot compare our reality to what we're seeing online. And as I was exploring this feeling like my life is boring, and if I didn't get the right pictures on my vacation, that I wasn't doing it right, it kind of just transferred into really looking at social media for what it is, and that's an emotional roller coaster that is aimed at you staying on that app online for as long as possible. And the two main points that I had talked about earlier in my video, they're definitely directly connected to each other. This emotional roller coaster of keeping your emotions in the background running high, making you feel stuck on the app, keeping you in this toxic cycle of feeling all these different emotions of happy and sad and comparison and FOMO and stressed, and all that directly feeds into us still feeling like our life is boring compared to what we're seeing online. I just think that when we're using social media, because of the emotional roller coaster that social media sends us on, we're always we're not necessarily thinking with our logic at the forefront. So we believe that what we're seeing online is the reality of the situation. We see someone in front of the Eiffel Tower, and we are going to think that, wow, they have it all figured out. They're in Paris having so much fun. My life is damn, I'm missing out. My life feels boring. When in reality, that person could have lost all their luggage and all their shit on the flight to France. They were probably packed in a tiny little Spirit airline to get there. They're missing out on work and money in their bag, to take time off to go there. Now I'm flinging shit around. I didn't make this clearer earlier, but the two are definitely connected, and they definitely feed into one another. This emotional roller coaster feeds right into us feeling like our real lives are boring, and our real lives aren't boring. Or maybe they are, because you know what? Reality has a lot of fucking boring parts to it. And social media isn't going to tell you that, but social media is also a fucking liar. Oh, don't mind my little sandwich back there. I'm going to finish that after this video. I wanted to end this section with some lyrics from none other than Mr. Champagne Papi himself. I've actually been such a long time fan of Drake since Take Care. So like basically since the beginning of his career, I've been listening to Drake, and this might be a hot take, but Scorpion is his best album, as of his most recent albums. And definitely one of his strongest lyrically. I for sure want to make a video about Drake and his discography and everything, but that's not what this video is about. Anyways, on Scorpion, there's this song called Emotionless. If you haven't listened to it, definitely give it a listen. I fucking love that song because he really, in Emotionless, he takes a mirror and really turns it on society as far as our culture surrounding media, social media, posting, like what's the point of it all. Like he really turns a mirror on that shit and calls people out. And you know what? He's spitting bars. So let me just go ahead and finish off this section with these lyrics. I always hear people complain about the place that they live, that all the people here are fake and they got nothing to give, because they've been staring at somebody else's version of shit that makes another city seem more exciting than it is. I know a girl whose one goal was to visit Rome, and then she finally got to Rome, and all she did was post pictures for people at home, because all that mattered was impressing everybody she's known. I know another girl that's crying out for help, but her latest caption is "Leave me alone." I know a girl happily married till she puts down her phone. I know a girl that saves pictures from places she's flown to post later and make it look like she's still on the go. Look at the way we live. I wasn't hiding my kid from the world, I was hiding the world from my kid. And he goes on for the rest of the song, but for the context of this video, I'm just going to leave it at that. But no lies are detected, at least from me. Like, all I'm hearing from Drake is straight fucking bars. And he's telling the truth of the situation that, like, look at how ridiculous this is. Like, I listen to that song and I think, like, yeah, like, it was fucking ridiculous for me, someone who doesn't like Instagram and, like, posting on it at all, to be feeling stressed that I need to capture these perfect pictures of my vacation and post on Instagram. Like, look at what we're doing. And you know what? I just want to thank none other than Adonis, Drake's son, for this album and for Emotionless, because without Adonis, Drake would have just been rapping about, you know, being the Lothario that he is, the shit that he always raps about. But you know what? With Emotionless, he was really onto something, and he really has some shit to say, and he fucking said it. And I just feel like it sums up perfectly the whole point of this video and what I'm talking about. So, yeah. We're going to leave this little section at that and get back to the rest of the video. I mean, I guess I'll just go and kind of finish off with saying that, you know, this conversation around how fake social media is more important now than ever. It's so important for us to realize the emotional toll that social media has on us as humans. This video isn't supposed to be like a, you know, take down Instagram, never use social media again, because that's not the case. There's obviously a lot of pros to social media. I've found a lot of comfort in Instagram recently, getting rid of all my followers. Which sounds funny because in today's society, you know, everyone wants more followers, clout, money, fame. You know, I just want all these people following me. But then at the same time, we say that we're doing it for social connection, even if you're like on a small scale. Like, say, I think at like the height of my Instagram followers, I had 800 followers, which is nothing compared to like the numbers that like influencers do. But for me, 800 is a lot of people. Like, I couldn't name 800 people. If I was in a room with 800 people, I'd want to get the fuck out the room. To be honest, how can you socially connect with 800 people? When I looked at even my little measly 800 followers, there were fucking tons of people that I didn't know, didn't like, didn't want to keep up with, were from old past parts of my life that I would like to move on from, like high school. And I was like, why am I subjecting myself to this? Why am I subjecting myself to every time I open up Instagram, I see people that I don't want to see living it up? For my Instagram followers, so that I have my fucking few 800 followers? Fuck that. So I fucking got rid of everyone. I got rid of all the snakes in my garden, and now I have like 120 followers, which is a lot more realistic number of people that mean something to me, even if it's on a small scale. Now that my Instagram following is smaller, and like the number of people I follow is a lot smaller, and the number of people that are allowed to see my stuff is a lot smaller, I feel so much better. And which everyone's number is obviously different. I'm not telling you that this is what you have to do. I'm just saying, if you feel like absolute shit every time you go on your Instagram or Twitter or whatever, try getting rid of some people. You don't need to follow everyone online. You don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe some coworker from like 5 years ago fucking anything. If they're annoying you online, unfollow them. You don't owe them anything. They're not active in your life. I think we all kind of feel that, like, you feel like you have to follow someone because if you don't, it's rude. But fuck that. Like, what the fuck? Like, if someone's fucking annoying or you don't like their shit, or like every time you see a post for them, you get a little angry, kick them to the curb. Goodbye. Like, you want as little of that energy in your life as possible. Because the second you go to the explore page, it is free game for Instagram to just fuck you however it fucking wants. But at least maybe on your like home screen, you can just see wholesome pictures of like your cousins or whoever, whatever makes you happy, whatever brings you a little bit of happiness, or at least doesn't make you feel like shit. You want that on your home screen. You don't want stuff that's gonna make you feel tons of different negative emotions. Yeah, the only other like real solution that I have found that has brought me more at a peaceful level, state of mind and experience with social media in general is staying on top of myself about getting off the fucking internet and touching some grass. And what that touching grass means, to just interact with people and things that are physically in my life, that physically matter to me, giving priority to that over scrolling endlessly and watching what other people are doing. Actively being like, I am putting this phone down, I am getting off Instagram, I am getting off YouTube, I am getting off the internet, and I'm going outside and I'm taking a walk and I'm touching some grass. And doing that way more often and prioritizing that over going on my phone has made single-handedly the biggest difference. Whatever it takes for you to get to a healthy place that you feel fulfilled, you know, priority in your physical, real life, as well as every time you open up Instagram or YouTube or whatever it takes to do that for you, do it. And don't apologize for doing it. Don't feel bad for removing people, for blocking people. It's 2022. We're not apologizing for taking care of our emotional and mental well-being, because Instagram's not going to do it. YouTube is not going to do it. They are not going to tell you. These apps are not going to tell you to get off. These apps are not going to tell you the steps to emotionally feel better and protect yourself. They're not going to do it. It's in their best interest to keep you on that app as long as possible and keep you in that negative cycle. It directly affects their bank account, their wallet, and that's what these apps are after. And don't give them that power. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying get rid of it all. I was fucking trashing Instagram this whole talk, but I still like going on Instagram because now that I have a smaller following, I like to see what my fucking Thea is doing. And, you know, she be posting up, she going to Vegas too. Follow people and creators and celebrities and friends. Follow what's going to just bring you a little bit of joy or make you a little bit happy, or at least not make you feel like shit or bad, or I don't know. And touch grass, please. Interact with the real world as much as you can, because that's going to serve you so much more in the long run. That instant dopamine rush that makes social media so addicting, it's very fleeting, and it never feels as fulfilling as taking care of things in your real life, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. Yeah, I hope, it is hot. I am hot. I can't wait to turn my AC back on. Yeah, I hope that my little video essay makes sense. Again, like I said, the very end, I didn't know how to end this essay, so I just decided to end it on the fly, and I think it went good from like my recollection. Also, everything I'm saying, I'm like forgetting 2 seconds later, so I think it's just fucking AC. Yeah. I think that's it for me today. I don't really have an outro, so I hope you guys liked the style of this video. It's a little bit of vlog mixed with video essay. I'm really excited to edit this and put this video together. Now I feel like I'm rambling. I don't know. Let me know. Did you like this video? Did you enjoy this video? Let me know your experience with like this idea of, comparing our real everyday lives to what we're seeing online, why we feel bad about ourselves. Let me know down below if you have experienced this kind of emotional roller coaster feeling every time you go on social media. Maybe you haven't been able to tangibly put how you're feeling into words, but maybe it's that. I don't know. Let me know. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.